The title of this says it all. There are some things that need to be said. I will put any scriptures in the comments below. This message comes from Haggai, chapter 2, verses 6 and 7. Once more I will shake heaven and earth, the sea and dry land, and I will shake all nations. Only a house built on a solid foundation will stand when the shaking comes. But everyone who hears these sayings of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it fell, and great was its fall. When God shakes, only that which is built on sand will fall. Ihopkc, you have clearly been building on sand. You don't listen to him. You never have. You still aren't listening to him. 24/7 prayer? What were you praying? Because it wasn't God's heart, and he's proven that to you by your fall. He has rejected what you offered on the altar. You're not innocent in this. There's a reason why you were there, whether you have now left or not. Something at work in you caused you to be complicit. You were complicit to the crimes of the corrupt leaders and the false prophets. You fed them. It was you who gave them food to eat. You exalted them and gave them a place in God's house. You honoured and caused to thrive that which God hates. Your worship came off the lips of the defiled. Do you understand what this means? You were offering profane fire on the altar. Is God not still holy? You did that. Does God then not get a say in that? So from Haggai 2, now ask the priest concerning the law, saying, if one carries holy meat in the fold of his garment, and with the edge he touches bread or stew, wine or oil, or any food, will it become holy? Then the priest answered and said, no. And Haggai said, if one who is unclean because of a dead body touches any of these, will it be unclean? So the priest answered and said, it shall be unclean. Then Haggai answered and said, so is this people, and so is this nation before me, says the Lord, and so is every work of their hands, and what they offer there is unclean. For those who remain in Ihopkc and are rebuilding what the Lord has clearly disassembled, shall God save you again? You have said you have a vision for prayer and the prophetic, and you need to protect this. Well, God has clearly rejected what you offered, and you still can't see that you have not and are not building his house. And because it is not his house that is being built, then God is blowing away all your labour. Consider your ways. Go up to the mountains and bring wood and build the temple, that I may take pleasure in it and be glorified, says the Lord. You looked for much, but indeed it came to little. And when you brought it home, I blew it away. Why, says the Lord of hosts? Because of my house that is in ruins, while every one of you runs to his own house. Therefore the heavens above you withhold their dew, and the earth withholds its fruit. For I called for a drought on the land and the mountains, on the grain and on the new wine and the oil, on whatever the ground brings forth, on men and livestock and all the labour of your hands. There's no fruit from all your praying and prophesying, and still you refuse to concede. As a dog returns to its vomit, so a fool returns to its folly. God has a special journey for apostates, those who continue to stop their ears. He gives them over to a reprobate mind. Their end is outer darkness. Get away from me, I never knew you. To those who have left Ihopkc, what will you do now? Will the dog return to its vomit? Will it just be a case of geography for you? Will you just find somewhere else to do the same things? Will you continue to support evil, but just in a different location? Good on you if you think God is still playing. When any of us support and feed evil, it's his character that we sully. It's not his ego that motivates him, it's the next generations that concern him. He does this for them. The more complicit you are in idolatry, the more the next generations fall away. They aren't just leaving the church, they're leaving God because of your idolatry. They have fallen asleep because of your idolatry. And his name is slandered among them because of what you have done. You've sacrificed your children to Moloch so that you could advance. You've sacrificed your children to Moloch so you could flourish. And the young ones that do remain can only do so if they take on your image. You have led them into idolatry and captivity. You have taught them the very best of everything that God hates. There are now two paths before you. If you have been shaken free, if you are waking up from your slumber, then you need to find a different path. You haven't been betrayed. You are waking up from your slumber. You need to go on a different journey now. Now is not the time to return to your vomit. When we come out of captivity, we need to take a journey through the wilderness. It's a journey of discovering truth. So, why is this addressed directly to you, to Ihopkc? Because God obviously sees you as redeemable. But let each one take heed how he builds. For no other foundation can anyone lay than that which is laid, which is Jesus Christ. Now if anyone builds on this foundation with gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, straw, each one's work will become clear, for the day will declare it, because it will be revealed by fire, and the fire will test each one's work of what sort it is. If anyone's work, which he has built on, endures, he will receive a reward. If anyone's work is burned, he will suffer loss. But he himself will be saved, yet so as through fire. Do you not know that you are the temple of God and that the Spirit of God dwells in you? If anyone defiles the temple of God, God will destroy him. For the temple of God is holy, which temple you are. There are many that are using this situation to garner attention. That's not a good thing to do. God will remember those that receive benefits from the sorrow of their brothers and sisters. There are also those who have left Ihopkc and think they can just waltz back into whatever role in the kingdom they think they are entitled to. Don't assume. These are different days. The cries of the victims have reached the throne, and now God is obliged to show his justice. You have two paths before you. Your outcome is totally in your hands.